Russia Greenlights crypto exchange for super-qualified investors. Russia is moving forward with plans to launch a state-backed cryptocurrency exchange specifically tailored for super-qualified investors, an initiative spearheaded by the Ministry of Finance and the central bank. This development, revealed by Finance Minister Anton Siluanov and reported by local media, signals a significant step in Moscow's efforts to bring digital asset transactions under regulatory control and establish robust domestic crypto infrastructure. The proposed platform aims to legitimize certain crypto activities within Russia by providing a controlled environment for sophisticated investors to engage in regulated transactions involving digital assets. This strategic pivot follows recent events where stablecoin wallets linked to Russian users were frozen, an incident that underscored the vulnerabilities associated with relying on foreign-issued tokens and highlighted the pressing need for greater financial autonomy through domestic digital asset solutions. In response to these challenges, senior finance officials have also put forward proposals for the development of a national stablecoin, further emphasizing the push for self-sufficiency in the digital finance sphere. Access to the new state-backed exchange will be highly restricted, reflecting a cautious approach to integrating cryptocurrencies into the established financial system. The central bank has suggested stringent criteria for attaining super-qualified investor status, proposing thresholds that include holding a minimum of 100 million rubles in securities and deposits, equivalent to approximately $1.1 million, or demonstrating an annual income exceeding 50 million rubles, roughly $550,000. These substantial financial requirements are designed to limit participation initially to a select group of high-net-worth individuals and institutional players deemed capable of understanding and managing the inherent risks associated with digital asset trading. It is important to note, however, that these eligibility criteria are not yet finalized and remain subject to potential adjustments following ongoing discussions with relevant stakeholders, as indicated by Osman Kabaloev, Deputy Director of the Finance Ministry's Financial Policy Department. For investors who do not meet these elevated thresholds, the path to accessing digital assets within the regulated framework will be different. They are expected to be limited to engaging with crypto-linked derivatives rather than holding the underlying tokens directly. These derivative products would allow qualified, but not super-qualified, investors to gain exposure to the price movements of cryptocurrencies without the complexities and risks associated with direct ownership. This tiered approach to access reflects a broader strategy to control the integration of crypto into the financial system, starting with a tightly regulated environment for the most sophisticated participants and gradually expanding access through less direct means like derivatives for others. The financial infrastructure is already preparing for this regulatory shift. Both the Moscow Exchange and the SBB Exchange have publicly stated their readiness to launch crypto-related derivatives once the necessary regulatory approvals are in place. The Moscow Exchange has set its sights on rolling out its offering sometime in 2025, while the SBB Exchange has also articulated similar intentions to introduce products linked to crypto values to cater to a wider investor base once the regulatory landscape is clearly defined. This preparedness from key trading venues indicates an anticipation of the eventual integration of digital asset products into the mainstream financial markets, albeit initially in a controlled and restricted manner. The launch of this state-backed exchange for super-qualified investors represents a significant policy evolution for Russia, moving from a position of relative skepticism towards cryptocurrencies to actively building regulated domestic infrastructure. This shift is largely driven by strategic imperatives, including the need to mitigate the risks posed by reliance on foreign digital asset platforms and to establish greater control over financial flows in the digital realm. By creating a controlled environment for high-net-worth investors, the government aims to gain experience and understanding of the digital asset market while preventing broader exposure to retail investors in the initial phase. The experimental legal regime under which the exchange will operate provides a framework for testing new financial technologies and regulatory approaches in a limited setting before potentially expanding them more broadly. This cautious, phased approach allows regulators to observe the functioning of the exchange and the behavior of participants, enabling them to refine regulations and policies based on real-world data and experience. The long-term implications of this initiative are significant. It could pave the way for further integration of digital assets into the Russian economy, potentially supporting the development of a national stablecoin and fostering innovation in the domestic fintech sector. It also signals a clear intent from Moscow to assert greater sovereignty over its digital financial infrastructure in an increasingly complex global landscape. While direct broad-based crypto trading for the general public remains restricted, the establishment of this exchange for super-qualified investors marks a crucial step towards formalizing and controlling a segment of the digital asset market within Russia's financial system, reflecting a strategic response to both the opportunities and challenges presented by the evolving world of cryptocurrencies.